Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. So today we're going to take a look at the new moon that's occurring on July 5th or 6th, depending on where you live in the world. We're going to take a look at each life path number and what this new moon could hold in store. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading or forecast for your own personal numerology, please go to my website and book some time with me. I would love to work with you and take a closer look. All right, so let's take a look at what this new moon has in store for us. Life path number 4. So we've got the energy of the 6 and the 7 that we're going to be working with this new moon. And so this could be a very strong reflective period when it comes to the themes of love, truth, honesty, when it comes to our deeper core relationships around family, friends, romantic partners, etc. This could be a time when we need to really have some time for solitude and go within and, really check in with how we feel about these deeper connections. Are we getting what we need? Is there an equal exchange of energy? How are we showing up to these connections? And is there some adjustments that we need to make in order to see a better result for whatever it is that we're looking for? There's definitely this need for greater self-exploration and greater self-awareness, and to be very honest and truthful with ourselves when it comes to, where is it that we feel fulfilled? Where is it that we feel that the relationship or the connection is complementary to our own personal journey? And where is it that we feel depleted after connections? Where is it that we feel like we're constantly overgiving, or, there's just not that equal exchange of energy, and it's actually depleting for both or for all involved? And so there could be some, through this sort of exploration, we could find new ways of sort of approaching and showing up to our connections. And or having those deeper conversations with the other party to let them know how we feel, what it is that we need, to give them a fair opportunity to be able to show up in that way, or to decide that they're not capable of showing up in that way, and then, doing whatever is needed to accommodate or to make sure that both are being served, right? So that may mean that there are some connections that need to go in separate directions at this time. And that can be done in a really healthy way. It doesn't have to be done with, anger and vindictiveness and ownership and all of the things that come with traditional, sort of 3D relationships. But it's really about that greater sort of like with the 7 energy, it's really saying slow down and sink into the stillness and really evaluate, again, how you feel about your connections and how you feel about how you show up to those connections. And also having those deeper conversations with those people in your life and hearing, listening to with an open mind and an open heart, their feedback to how it is that you are showing up to those connections or how they feel that you are showing up to those connections. It's not saying that you have to change who you are, but that feedback can give us an indicator of what it is that we're not seeing about how we're showing up. Sometimes we can just see it through our own lens. I mean, we can only see it through our own lens. So when other people say, hey, when you did this, it really hurt me, or when you did this, it really, was frustrating or whatever, it doesn't mean that our intention was bad. It just means that the other person experienced us in this way. And by listening to that feedback, we can sort of get a new perspective about how we're showing up to a connection, about, where it is that we have our blinders on and maybe need to take a closer look at. And also it gives us the understanding of what the other person needs in that connection. And then we can decide whether or not we can show up in that way or not. So there's a lot here around like relationships and interconnectivity and how it is that not only we are showing up to connections, but what we are accepting when it comes to connections from others. This is going to be a really sort of potentially a profound period for, going deeper into our worth and what it is that we feel deserving of, because what we feel deserving of is what we will accept. So if we feel deserving of, mistreatment, then we're going to accept it. If we feel worthy of, if our standards are higher and we don't accept that, then we feel worthy of love, abundance, reciprocity, all of those things. So a deep dive here, fours, into self and for that greater self-discovery around relationships and around connectivity. And really, because it's that sixth energy, there's a lot of like truth bombs here. There's a lot of truthfulness that needs to be sort of looked at, and really, we need to be open to that honesty, honest with ourselves, honest with others, and then decide what we want to do with that honesty and that truthfulness. But a lot here with potentially really strengthening relationships, especially those deep core relationships, or releasing them, but in a way that is healthy for all involved. So yeah, a lot here around those deeper connections. Also, 7 energy is very like divinely guided energy. And so you could see for some of you that this is a time that you meet someone who is that deep soul connection. So if you're someone who's single, looking to mingle, this could be a time where, sort of the synchronicities are off the chart and you just happen to bump into someone who ends up being a life partner or something like that, right? Or at least someone who is going to have a profound impact on your life in some way. So a catalyst of sorts. Big energy here, fours, big energy, but you really have to sort of let the walls come down and be open to the energy and what it's trying to show you. If you try to have too much control over the situation, you're going to miss out on some really big opportunities with this energy for greater connectivity, greater romance, greater deeper soul connections. But there's a lot of self-evaluation that has to occur with this energy. So it's what we do with it, right? The energy can be there. It's what we do with it that makes the difference. So yeah, pay attention to those synchronicities though around this new moon, because they are definitely breadcrumbs leading you to something that your soul wants you to experience. So I hope it's a big, powerful new moon. Take care, Forrest. Bye for now.